Hey everybody, welcome to a good e-reader comparison video. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Today we have the Sony Digital Paper DPT-CP1. This is the 2018 10.3 inch model.
Ooh.
And this is the Onyx Book Note. This is also their first 10.3 inch e-reader.
Starting with the Onyx Note, it looks fantastic. It has a physical button that goes back a step every single time. It is not a flush screen and bezel. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap, but it does have a capacitive layer and a Wacom layer for a pen. You have everything happening nice and fun down here. Torx screws if you're so brave enough to open this. USB-C, first e-reader we've ever seen with a USB-C. A hard reset button, nothing on the sides.
So much fun.
Yeah, I know. And up top you have a power button, and the back is a very nice matte back with stereo speakers, and that's always really nice to have. Looking at the stylus, it doesn't need power. You have a eraser on the back and a nib on the top. You also have a secondary button and a clip. Clip does not clip onto the device. The Sony, light as hell,
half the size is
half
this.
the size, half the weight. It's crazy. It's super thin, razor thin. Nothing happening on either of the sides. Only one button right there. It's a soft touch button. Clicks down a little bit. Hard reset, USB micro, power button, and nothing on the bottom. You do have a snap on each corner for the stylus to snap onto. The stylus comes off super easily, you can see. It's not really to prevent it from being lost because this thing falls off pretty easily. The stylus carried over from the RP1 does require charging. Now it only charges for about 15 minutes and then it's fully charged. You do have a micro USB on the back, status indicator light, highlight button, eraser button, and replaceable nibs, both plastic and carbon.
So these two devices have very unique ways of presenting navigation and browsing around. Let's take a look at the Sony Digital Paper.
The Sony is easier to explain because it has no home screen. There is no home screen on this device. There's return to document, which is a PDF, we'll show you later. All documents, which is this page. Folders, which is your device Explorer, so to speak, and it only shows PDFs because this device can only run PDFs. All notes are all the notes you made. You can see I did a little scribble there. Create note is something we'll show you later. It just creates the note. And settings, there's only one screen of settings, so we can just breeze by this. Couple Wi-Fi settings, Bluetooth, NFC, start Wi-Fi access point, that's to connect it to your smartphone. And then system settings about this device. This allows you to calibrate whether you're right-handed, left-handed, screen lock, and initialize digital paper, thus wiping everything from it. It's very bare bones. That is the extent of this device. Onyx is a lot more intense. Let's check it out.
So Onyx, because it's running Android, it has a lot of different ways. Now Onyx has been pretty well running the same sort of software for the last 3 or 4 different generations of e-readers and digital note takers. So if you have watched previous videos, or if you have like the Onyx Book Max 2, the Onyx Book Max Carta, all those sort of devices, you're not seeing anything new here. But if you're looking at this for the first time, this is the home screen. It pretty well comprises of books that you've recently added, are on the process of reading. You have your home button, both software driven key, and a physical home button that basically goes back a menu. Battery life indicator, Wi-Fi symbol. You have A2 mode if you click here, which basically increases the refresh rate. Being Android, you can kind of click on this menu and look at the different screens that are open here. As you see, we don't have any open right now. If you click in the middle, you actually get a quick navigation, very much like Android. You can change the volume. This is good if you're listening to wireless headphones, wireless speakers via Bluetooth 4.1, or if you're merely listening to the speakers on the back of here. You can turn Wi-Fi on and off, Bluetooth, settings, power save. Settings, kind of like the Sony, it's very bare bones, despite the fact that it is Android. A lot of calibration settings for the stylus and things like that. Lots of like Wi-Fi and VPNs and Bluetooth type settings. You can also run firmware updates directly on this device. With the Sony, it does not run firmware updates. You have to do it through the desktop software app.
Oh man, that's something. This is a PDF on both of the default browsers. You can install other applications on the Onyx via drag and drop APKs. The Sony is just this program.
Now, the first thing that we have to look at is
The quality.
yeah,
of
the
course,
quality. What do you think?
You know, it's looking pretty much exactly the same, although I've noticed there's slightly less glare in the material on the DPT than the Onyx, but it's not night and day.
Yeah, when I'm
are you
looking
picking out?
here, his outfit is like a little bit more white.
On the Sony.
Yeah, on the Sony than the Onyx.
Yeah.
It still looks good on the Onyx, but I feel that, like, especially this bottom half of his jersey here to here,
Right.
I find that this is like a little bit more luscious and vibrant.
Going into scribbling, the Sony is just ready to go. There's not a lot of different ways to change the fonts, the pen thicknesses. Sorry, we'll show you that in the full note-taking experience. We're just looking at PDF navigation. You do have a zoom, and it does zoom a little bit, and then you can kind of move it around. There's no mini map. There's no way to zoom any more than that, and then you just simply click exit and you're done. Whereas the Onyx is running quad-core processing. You can do full pinch and zoom. You can scribble on the page. It's got a ton of different PDFs.
It's really responsive.
Yeah, it's lightning quick. When it comes to landscape note-taking and editing, both of these guys are really good at it. You don't have to worry about gyroscopes and it automatically switching into landscape because they don't have gyroscopes. You'll notice on the Sony, it's the same document on both, and that's because you have the ability to choose any document on one side, for example, note sample, and any document on the other side. So you can see that I have a note here and I'll write my name, and you can turn pages on the left completely isolated from the document on the right. And this comes in real handy when you're going and making student notes and saying page 12 is super important, don't forget. And then you turn that and then it corresponds to your, data documents over here. The Onyx allows you to make notes over here lightning fast. Oh yeah, but you can't actually make notes on here at the same time, because if you tap the center, all you get are zoom options or go to page. So you can't actually scribble on this side, and every page is kind of associated with a page of notes. Although you can expand this and make new note pages like so, your previous page will only be associated with this. Sony can also do two-page spread, which puts an artificial bind down the center of the landscape screen. As you turn one page, they both turn in succession like that. You can make scribbles on this side and scribbles on the other side. Unfortunately, you can't run your pen through both of them. You have to kind of lift your pen up, but that's a small price to pay. And if there's any text on the screen, you can quickly press the highlight button and highlight the text and, make note of it. So when it comes to landscape editing, the Sony certainly does shine, although it isn't a competition. As for note-taking, we're going to start with the Sony because it's super easy and it's pretty short actually. So you can write on the page. There is no levels of pressure sensitivity. You can click over here and choose red or blue ink. Obviously it's not red or blue on the screen because it's e-ink. You export the file and it will be red or blue if you want to make marks on student documents. You have to choose the level of thickness every single time because there is no pressure sensitivity. You can also choose the eraser size, which doesn't really matter because as you erase, everything erases at the same time. You do have a level of zoom, but it zooms in a little bit and then you can't really do anything else with it. You just have to click exit. You have search, and then you have 3 buttons on the side, which has 2-page spread and everything we've already shown you. That's it. However, if you want to make backgrounds, you can't change the background you're on now. You have to create a new note, then you can choose schedule, graph, meeting notes, notepad, legal pad, or whatever from the get-go. Mike has already drawn a tapestry of beautiful cursive calligraphy.
It has like a lot of different like pen settings, different backgrounds. You can like flip to the backgrounds like on the fly. With the Sony, you can't change backgrounds on the fly.
No.
One of the limitations on like the way that their engine works, which kind of sucks because like sometimes you just want to flip backgrounds and not have to like redo everything or re-import stuff. Erasing things super easy. You can just click on words, or you can just like use this. So I deleted the I in Michael, And now, you know, I'm gonna redraw and put a heart. There you go. Awesome. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this comparison. Drop a comment below for GoodieBeater.com and a comparison on the Sony Digital Paper DPT CP1 and the Onyx Book Note. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.
So that's a really cool feature. The sorry, not the Remarkable, the Sony. Yeah, made two mistakes.